Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth, and if you're not into that or weird shit in general, this is not the place for you. Feel free to X out the video here. No harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the product, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. Guys, I don't know what to do sometimes about Bob. Like, I really physically don't fucking know anymore. But I'm getting to the point where I start to wonder if I take my stapler and chuck it at his head, how long will jail time be for me? You know what I'm saying? So for the past week or so, I haven't really had to deal with him, and it's been fucking beautiful. But now I actually have to deal with him because I need information on something that's very pertinent and very important. And this motherfucker, well, let me tell you what happened. So I called him over to my desk. I said, hey Bob, do you have that answer for the TPS report? I know I sent you an email about it, but I really need to kind of get it out today. Do you mind just giving me the answer? Because he told me, and I quote, that he was working on it and then he would actually give me that answer 3 days before. But unfortunately, 3 days had passed and I actually was very lenient with him, but that motherfucker never gave me an answer. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna put you in the motherfucking spot right now. Anyway, this is what he says to me. And I'm trying to remember verbatim because I couldn't believe the shit that was literally coming out of his mouth.
I looked into it, and you see there are parallel realities. And if you look at it one way, we hit that threshold and everything's fine. But if we look at the other reality, it's absolute chaos.
What?
In multiple timelines,
Oh great, there's fucking timelines.
there are a lot of different scenarios. The information you're requesting will satisfy this very requirement.
What? What? The fuck are you talking about?
Great, I'm glad that settles it.
Well, not really. Can you just tell me what I need to put on the report and then we're good?
Come again?
Do you remember when I emailed you and I asked you hey, I need this for this report and whatever, and you were like, yeah, I'm gonna work on it, and then yeah, that information, that's what I need. Do you have that information?
Huh?
What am I putting down on the report?
I don't follow. My phone's ringing.
At this very moment, I was tempted to take my stapler and throw it at the back of his fucking head, but then I realized I probably wouldn't look good in orange. Anyway, that's my job. How was your week? On today's video, we're going to be talking about the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette as well as the Liquid Frost in the color Prostitute because your bitch loves a good prostitute. So on Friday, it was a complete nightmare trying to get this palette online. Every fucking site that was selling it was crashing, and I don't like buying anything from Jeffree Star Cosmetics because I hate that I have to pay shipping. Especially if you're about to drop about $77 or so, the fact that you have to pay for shipping is pretty fucking ridiculous. So that's why I usually buy the shit from Beautylish, and it's usually way better. Funny story, I literally, maybe 102, I had the Blue Blood palette in my cart and I had Prostitute in my cart. And then I noticed, oh fuck, the phone number's wrong. Ever since I had to change my phone number, I kind of forget what's updated and what's not updated. Long story short, 30 seconds later, this thing was sold out. Then I was like, oh shit, let me go back and let me find one that I want. Because I really want to try these liquid highlighters because I heard really good things about it. I pick up one, about to check out. Next thing you know, this fucking thing is sold out. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This is all within literally minutes. I go on the Jeffree Star website, everything's available. I'm like, fine, fuck it, I'll just pay the goddamn $8 shipping, whatever, let me just get this palette. And the site crashed about 15 fucking times. Now I'm getting mad. So I go back to the Beautylish website and I realize that you can get the palette as a bundle with the lip set. However, a whole shit of mini blue lipsticks does not sound appealing to me because your bitch is basic as fuck, as seen with Christmas cookie on my lips. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I really want to get this palette. I really want to see what the hype's about because honestly, I think it's a beautiful palette and I really do love Jeffree Star Cosmetics quality. So I purchased it and I purchased a Frost highlighter in the lightest shade because it was the only thing that was available. I came home defeated, tired, cranky, mostly hungry, and I realized, I wonder if Morphe's selling any of their shit. I go look at the Morphe site and lo and behold they are, but things are sold out. I remembered, there's a Morphe store in Long Island, maybe I should just give them a call. So last night I gave them a call and they were like, yeah, we have a shitload of palettes available in the store. I was like, motherfucker. So this morning I went there and I was able to pick up the palette as well as a highlighter and the one that I wanted, which was Prostitute. So with that said, thank God for Beautylish's return policy. Let's talk about the Liquid Frost first. Liquid Frost Prostitute retails for $25. The color of icy mint with an alien iridescent glow. Our liquid highlighter is extremely pigmented, so go get ready to glow like a lighthouse. Beauty tip, this product can be used on the face, eyes, and body. A little goes a long way. This product can be used wet or dry, depending on your desired intensity. I wanted to get this one because out of all the liquid highlighters, blue makes me look like someone punched the shit out of me. And although, not gonna lie, it looks like a fucking Smurf splooged all over my face, but that's neither here or there at this point. And the reason why I wasn't so keen on getting the lightest one is because I feel like I have that shade so many fucking times. So I really wanted to make it a point to get one of the kind of crazy ones, and considering this had a green undertone to it, it actually piqued my interest more. So with that said, when I went to the Morphe store this morning, I actually swatched all of them on my hand, which I'm actually gonna insert the swatch here. The lovely Morphe assistant was like, you know, you're putting out a lot of product. I'm like, yeah, no, I know. I just kind of wanted to see like what the opacity was with just like one little splooge from the dropper. And so I didn't really get a chance to play with them too much because, you know, she was just being very helpful and talking to me, and I didn't want to be like, hi, can you just shut the fuck up for a second? I'm trying to take a picture for my YouTube video. I didn't want to do that. So I wound up only getting a picture of each shade. But I have to say though that the blue ones were actually pretty, very, very prettier than I expected. And I feel like these are some things that you kind of have to try on physically to really see how they're going to look on your skin. So keep in mind, this is definitely a first impressions, only because I've never really tried this product before, and I literally just applied it to my face, and I haven't really had a very long wear time for it, because I definitely want to revisit both of these in the near future. With that said, I like this, but I don't like this. First of all, it's really fucking glittery, like very glittery, like Tinkerbell shit all over your face, which sometimes I really enjoy and sometimes I really hate. Today I actually really like it. Also, it's because I'm on my period. I think I'm more accepting of things right now because I'm like very emotional. So that's probably why I really like it. The only thing I don't like is that it's taking up the product. So before I went to the Morphe store, I actually did my base with the exception of my eyes today. And I think because I had powder, and plus for my eye looks, I put on a shitload of setting powder right here, that this whole area is just pretty much like one big dust cookie at this point, you know? So when I was putting this on, first applying it with my finger, then applying it with the sponge, it started taking up the concealer and the foundation underneath it. So you see how it's like gone right there? I also think I put on a lot of product because I couldn't really tell initially how pigmented it is. So I think that's why there's just a lot concentrated in one area. I didn't really do a good job spreading around, but then I started putting it up here, and then I started realizing like, wow, it looks like I got a facial from Smurf. So kind of over here, same kind of deal, where you just like see my actual skin poking through. I find this product really interesting. I definitely think the bottle is really cute. I actually really also like the little dropper doohickey. That was very lackluster. Like, it's like when you think it's going to be a big load, and then it's like, nope, nothing. It's kind of like what it is right there. Let's try to get some more out. All right, that's just adding insult to injury at this point. All right, so here's a little bit of product. Kind of want to just show you like the little sheen that it gives, because it's very pretty. See? Oh, it's so nice. You know, can I rock this every day in the office? Absolutely not. People are gonna be like, yo, you got jaundice, bitch, go home. Needless to say, I think I really, really like this. It's weird and it's different, but it's really, really pretty. So I think what I'm gonna do next time is after I'm done with my foundation, I'm going to apply the highlighter and just leave it as is. I feel like I'll have a better application as opposed to setting my complete face and then layering it on top. I just don't think it's really gonna work for me. I like looking like an alien slut. It makes me so happy. Now on to the Johnny Wahlberg and Tom Selleck palette. Blue Blood palette retails for $52. Please welcome Blood Sugar's Icy Big Sister, the Blue Blood palette. 18 eyeshadow and pressed pigment shades of stunning blues, mints, and peaches. Enclosed in a metal clasp inspired by high-end jewelry boxes and caskets. One of a kind and extremely pigmented. She is a pretty bitch, I have to say. I really love the aesthetic of it. I definitely think it's so much cuter in person than it is online. It has a beautiful feel to it. It's definitely not as weighted as Blood Sugar. It just reminds me of like old money, and I like that. When you open her up, you get this beautiful full-size mirror. You get the little adornments on the side here. I don't want to show you because I don't want to blind you. That are kind of mirrored the outside of the packaging. And you get these 18 beautiful shades of mostly blue, green, and a little bit of peach. You have a nice variety in terms of finishes in this palette. It's mostly matte heavy. However, you do have these beautiful kind of shimmers and metallics and straight up motherfucking sparkles, which are so nice. Like, look at that. That's a gorgeous blue right there. This is not going to be like a complete in-depth review because I've only had this product for a couple of hours now. So I do want to preface this by saying that I am going to do another video that shows more looks with this palette, only because I really am not a huge fan of what I created today. I think I did the best that I could considering I really just wanted to play with it. These shadows are not meant to be blended out. Some of them are, especially when it comes to like these lighter guys up here. Yes, I completely believe that they are meant to be blended out, built up, whatever. However, the darker shades, they are just just only meant to be packed on and you look the other way. You don't even fucking touch them further. Because again, I was having the same issue that I had initially when I was playing with Subculture, when I would like pack on a certain part and then I would go a little bit above it with a different color and just kind of just try to blend the two together. The darker color underneath would just start disappearing, and it just kept happening so many times where I realized, okay, bitch, calm down. Pack it on, leave it alone, stop trying to blend it out. So if you are getting this palette, just know that right off the bat. Otherwise, you are going to be really upset when you realize the color is going to start disappearing. Now, at the end of the day, that actually doesn't bother me anymore. I think considering that I figure out how to use Subculture, I feel like you have to adapt your makeup application style every time you're using different palettes. So in a palette of like pretty much pressed pigments, or, you know, just bitches that don't want to blend, you kind of have to learn how to pack it on and just leave it be. So once you kind of figure out the best technique to use some of these eyeshadows, I think they perform very similarly to Blood Sugar and the Alien palette. The shimmer shadows are very similar to how they are in the Alien formula, where they are a tad bit on the crumblier and softer side. They are definitely soft press. Don't try to finger fuck them too much, but they're definitely not like Milk Cosmetics where they become a science project, so that's good. Definitely they looked a lot prettier literally 3 hours ago because now they just look like a hot fiery mess, which sucks. The mattes I had really no issue with. However, some of the darker ones, I think I have a little bit of an eye sensitivity to them. So when I was especially playing with the shadow cremated down here or the shade Power up here, which are these kind of beautiful blue gray colors, that my eye kept leaking up. So I feel like it's one of those shadows that I can't really have on the outside. I could probably put it in the center of the lid and not touch it. So that's what I'm definitely going to play with more in my next video. Oh, the one thing is that I will say is that there's a lot of fucking fallout with this guy, more so than the other two palettes. This was on a whole nother fucking level. I was like, god damn. Thankfully, I put on a shitload of setting powder right here, so it caught most of it. However, if you don't have any setting powder down, you're just gonna have like a blue cast of shit all over your face. So I think my biggest complaint with the whole palette pretty much is that I wish I felt a little bit more creative in my color choices. I really wanted to play with a lot of the different eyeshadows to kind of give you like a really good idea of like how they perform. However, I feel like what I created is something that I'm not really in love with. Like, it's okay, it's not bad, but it's not, I would say, like my best work. Keep in mind, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm truly just a normal bitch that loves playing with sparkles. But the point is that I felt really overwhelmed by looking at this, because after a while, a lot of the colors start looking the same, and then you're like, oh, what the fuck am I gonna do now? You know what I mean? I don't know, so I kind of felt like most of the time I was just like staring at this, trying to figure out what would work best with what. I think this eye looks a little bit better only because I was able to differentiate each color. This one I feel like I failed at because I really just wanted to play with the shade Flourishing and kind of packing it on. Like, you really can't do anything else other than pack it on. And then when I started adding like the shade Entitled looks very similar to Flourishing on the lid, so it didn't really add any sort of dimension. So then I added this white diamondy shade on the top of that, and then I started to realize, oh, it's kind of looking a little bit similar to how it looks on this side, but not. So then I was trying to sheer it out. One look, I tried to actually use the shade Crystal Flesh here with the green, thinking that, oh, maybe it might look pretty decent. No, those did not look good together at all. I was really struggling trying to figure out what colors will look good with what. So as for a first impression, it's not bad. It's not terrible. I think if you guys were actually one of the few ones that were able to get it and not have the site crash on you 55 fucking times, I don't think you're going to be super disappointed. I think you might be a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of blue in it. This is by no means a standalone palette. You definitely need something else to kind of go with it. So I think what I might do in my next video is also try to use Blood Sugar, because while this is so pretty, I am getting stuck with what I'm limited to. Definitely be doing a follow-up video within a week or so, and yeah, we'll go from there. Let me know down below what you guys think about this palette, if you like it, if you hate it, what your feelings are. I mean, right now I think I'm kind of like, it's nice, it's definitely a nice palette, but is it the Alien palette? No. It's not the Alien palette. So anyway, let me know how you feel about this down below, if you give a shit, if you don't, blah blah blah. I always love hearing from you. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, out in the streets, in life, whatever. And I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.